I prepared my daughter's lunch and the school reported it to the police. I was halfway through a work meeting when my phone buzzed with an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but then I saw a voicemail from my daughter's school. I stepped into the hallway and listened. The principal said there'd been an incident involving my daughter, that the police were on campus, and I needed to come immediately. No details, just police and my child in the same sentence. I called back twice, straight to voicemail. My hands were shaking as I told my boss I had an emergency, and I was in my car before I even finished explaining. The school was 25 minutes away, and I made it in 18. The entire drive, I imagined the worst. An accident, a lockdown, someone hurting my kid. It never crossed my mind that I was the problem. When I walked into the office, I saw my daughter, Lily, sitting against the wall, crying so hard she could barely breathe. 2 police officers stood near the counter, and the principal, Mr. Harris, was holding Lily's lunchbox like it was evidence in a criminal case. I rushed to Lily and asked what happened. The principal said, very seriously, that my daughter had brought a weapon to school. I laughed because it sounded ridiculous. Then he opened the lunchbox and pulled out a butter knife, a dull, rounded butter knife, the same one I packed so she could spread peanut butter on her crackers. He said zero tolerance meant zero tolerance. I looked at the officers. One was studying the knife like he didn't know how to respond. The other avoided my eyes. I asked when they called me. He said after they contacted the police. I asked if they'd questioned Lily before I arrived. He said yes. That's when I went cold. I reminded him that questioning a minor without parental consent violated district policy. One officer finally spoke and said clearly that a butter knife was not a weapon and no report would be filed. He suggested the school get ahead of what came next. I asked for copies of everything, took Lily's hand, and walked out. 2 days later, the superintendent called. The principal was placed on leave. A month later, the policy was changed. Lily's 9 now. Last week she told me she asked a teacher to call me first. That's my girl.